Hello, what's up, guys? I finally got a mic for this. Yeah, we're back, and I'm gonna upload this on time for once instead of 3 days after I record it because my memory is terrible. Anyway, let's get right into this. All right, starting off Sunday because I did Thursday already, so Sunday. The Cardinals narrowly lost to the Ravens 17-23. Kyler Murray threw 350 yards, went 25 of 40, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Overall, David Johnson, had a touchdown and 14 yards, while Murray had four. Christian Kirk and Fitzgerald also both went over 100 yards. Overall, I think Murray is showing that he can be a passer. He just is having issues with getting the tutties right now, which is fine. Um, David Johnson, that's fucking egregious. Yeah, get 14 yards. Excuse me. I thought that was pretty terrible. The defense for the Cardinals was super bleh. Nothing big. Ravens scored 23 on them, which, Speaking of the Ravens, Lamar Jackson went 24 for 37, 272 yards, two touchdowns, no picks. In addition to that, he had 16 carries for 120 yards on the ground. Overall, I think we're seeing the best of Lamar Jackson right now for the season. I don't think he gets better later in the year. I think this is where we're going to see him, which honestly, he's still pretty good. I'm not taking anything away from him. He has grown more in this offseason than Cam Newton has in the last 8, which is kind of wild. Actually, it's extremely wild. Yeah, it kind of shows Cam's inabilities. Well, showing off Lamar's. I think that's about the best way to put it. And then Mark Ingram, in addition to Lamar Jackson, had 47 yards on the ground. He also had 30 receiving, so he was useful. Mark Andrews had 112 yards and a touchdown. And then I think it's Marquise Brown. I can't remember if it's AJ Brown or Marquise Brown. I'm still kind of confused with the whole Brown thing because there's like there's 4 Browns that are kind of like decent deals in the league. But he had 86 yards. The Ravens defense did get 3 sacks. So overall, Ravens won, but the Cardinals looked much better than anticipated. All right, now to the first stinker of the week. Chargers lose to the Lions 10-13. Rivers looked like freaking trash. He had no touchdowns, 1 pick. Austin Eckler accounted for 66 yards and a touchdown. Jackson accounted for 59 yards. Jackson did on 7 carries too, which was pretty impressive. Rivers, to his credit, did run 12. It's just one of those games you gotta win. Like, I don't care. You gotta win that game, Phillip. And that's not the way to do it. But the receivers and running back also had good yards. They just didn't get tutties. Keenan Allen had 98 yards. Mike Williams had 83, and Austin Eckler had 67. I'd say just about the only bright spot of this game was Austin Eckler. I mean, Allen has moments too, and Williams, but yeah, the pass game was kind of gross. Hayward had a pick with Casey Hayward, which that was kind of cool. Chargers defense looked decent, not great. Matt Stafford went 22 of 30 for 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 picks. He was either throwing a touchdown or an interception, it seemed. Kerryon Johnson went 12 for 41 yards, had 12 carries for 41, and he also had two catches for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. So even though he couldn't get anything going on the ground, he still got something going in the air. I can respect that. I find that I say that I can respect both, and it's Eckler and Johnson. Anyway, Galladay had a good game. He had 8 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. Big play, Darius Slay had the game-sealing pick, and Prater missed a kick. So I'm not feeling great. That overall for me is like, I'm high on the Lions, but they shouldn't have won that game. That's just egregious chargering. All right, on to our next amazing matchup. The Colts beat the Titans 19-17. Jacoby Brissett went 17 of 28 for 146 yards, 3 touchdowns, threw an interception. He also ran the ball 7 times for 25 yards. Overall, that was really impressive what I saw out of Brissett. He didn't throw the ball down the field a whole lot, but I mean, he's not gonna be Andrew Luck with the going long. But I respect what Brissett brings to the table. I'd rather have him than some other quarterback in this game. I will get to him in a moment. Anyway, Mack was kept in check big time. Marlon Mack, I think he had like no yards whatsoever. But Wilkins did go for 82 yards on 5 carries, which is kind of ridiculous. Also, the Colts defense did muster 4 sacks. 2 were from Autry. I think that's how you say it. Now on to that quarterback I mentioned. He went 19 of 28, so better completion percentage. 154 yards. He has more yards. But he had 1 touchdown, no picks, whereas Brissett had 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And he also on the ground 5 times for 32 yards. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick comparison. Mariota had the better completion percentage. Mariota had more yards. Mariota didn't have the touchdowns, but he also didn't have the turnover. And he ran less, but he got more yards. I'm taking Brissett because he throws touchdowns. This is my problem with Mariota. Yes, you played a clean game, but still, you need touchdowns. And I'm sorry, but I'm taking Brissett. I mean, at this point, Mariota just needs to change his scenery, in my opinion. Because at this point, it's like he's the same player as he was as a rookie, maybe even worse, or about the same, or some. He hasn't improved greatly. He's not worthy of the 2nd overall pick. I mean, if he was a 3rd round quarterback or 2nd round quarterback, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he's your guy, but he's not your guy. That 2015 draft class is looking increasingly worse, in my opinion. Get to the rest of the Titans. Henry had 81 yards and a touchdown. The Titans defense also mustered up 2 sacks. No big games finished. Speaking of the receivers, Mariota, okay, here's what Mariota has around him, and yet he still can't beat the Colts. And this is kind of a big deal. All right, so around him, he has Henry. He has Adam Humphries. He has Corey Davis. He has some 3rd guy. He has Delaney Walker. And he still can't beat the Colts. Now, I know it's not his fault because the defense should have done better, I guess. I mean, the defense held the Colts to 19 points. I feel like it's one of those deals where your offense just kind of needs to get up and go. The Titans could have won it if that Santos didn't miss the kick. Overall, I think both defenses looked good in terms of the sack department. Secondaries were, yeah, they had their moments where they were good, their moments where they were bad. Anyway, moving on. The 49ers rat fuck the Bengals 41-17. Jimmy Garoppolo went 17 of 25 for 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. And this is in spite of them having a really good run game and running the ball a lot. So I'm like, Jimmy G, go, dude. If he played like this every week, I think he'd be worthy of his contract. But he's not going to play like this every week because he played the Bungles. Overall, the 49ers offense, Matt Breida, 12 carries for 121 yards. Mostert, 13 carries for 83 yards. And then Wilson, he had like no yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. So yeah, no, them missing Tevin Coleman and Jerick McKinnon looked freaking great anyway. We're gonna speak about the receivers. I'm gonna go on my Kyle Shanahan rant. Deebo Samuel had 87 yards and a touchdown. Godwin had 77 yards and a touchdown, and Mostert had 68 yards and a touchdown. Now you hear those numbers, right? Kyle Shanahan, he doesn't have the best up. He's playing with babies at wide receiver. Most of his running backs are either young or injured. And Jimmy G is 12 games in. That's like the 12th game of his career. And he's doing 41 points. Yeah. I'm not going to bash Sean McVay, but Kyle Shanahan doesn't get enough credit. Well, I shouldn't say that, but they hold McVay on a higher level than they do Shanahan, like, vastly. I feel like they should be closer. Like, McVay is obviously better because he has more success, but, like, maybe, like, this is probably about their difference in offensive genius. Speaking of defenses, though, now we're not speaking about offenses, the 49ers had 4 sacks and a pick. Also, their free agent acquisition, Quan Alexander, looks like he's worth the dough thus far. The Bengals fell to earth along with Andy Dalton. There was no run game to speak of. It was putrid. Tyler Boyd had 10 receptions for 122 yards. John Ross had another big game with 4 receptions for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. The Bengals defense didn't generate pressure. As a result, they had no sacks, 1 pick. The pick was, yeah, it is what it is. Moving past that, the Jaguars undeservedly lost to the Texans 12-13. Gardner Minshew, the myth, the legend, the bearded Jesus, went 23 of 33 for 213 yards and 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and had 6 carries on the ground for 56 yards. He was their leading rusher and leading passer. So as far as I'm concerned, Jaguars, you guys are probably going to drop a game or 2 more than you have had with Foles. Because Foles is the better quarterback, but Minshew, I wouldn't sell out the Jags yet because they almost beat the Texans, and the Texans are one of the best teams in the league in my opinion. They're probably like the 3rd or 4th best AFC team. And then Jaguars narrowly lost to them, and I kind of want to see the Jags against the Colts and the Titans, though, before I'm, like, going crazy. But like I said, Minshew was the lead rusher as Fournette went 15 carries, 47 yards, no touchdowns. Minshew also has excellent chemistry with DJ Chark, who went 7 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Conley also had 4 receptions for 73 yards. Jacksonville generated 3 sacks but no interceptions, and they're going to trade Jalen Ramsey now, I guess. Oh, boy, Jacksonville. If you guys kept Jalen Ramsey, you guys would probably be a lot better. I mean, A.J. Boye is good, but he's no Jalen Ramsey. Texans offense. Watson was unproductive most of the game, going 60 of 29, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. He had 155 yards passing. He had 5 yards running, but he also got a touchdown on one of those runs. So Watson was not very productive. Carlos Hyde had 20 runs for 90 yards. It's kind of crazy how the Texans' running back room has evolved into the Browns' running room with Hyde, Johnson. All he needs is Nick Chubb, which I hope they don't get him because I want Nick Chubb to stay in Cleveland. Whitney and Merciless account for 2 of the team's 4 sacks. I just think the Jaguars should have, because the Texans, they shouldn't have won this week, but they should have won last week, so it kind of balances out for the Texans. But the Jaguars, yeah, I'm a little sad about that. Moving on, we talk about big game Kirk Cousins. Big game Kirk Cousins, everybody. Goes 14 of 32, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and he runs the ball for 17 yards. This is a quarterback who cannot win. I repeat, cannot win. You can get him for the delectable price of $84 million over 3 years. Minnesota, what the fuck were you thinking? He cannot win. He couldn't win in Washington, and he can't win here. This was a divisional game. This was big. They lost 16-23, or 16-21, excuse me. I also blame Dan Bailey. He went 1 for 2 on field goals. Defense did generate 2 sacks. Diggs was only targeted once, but he did get a touchdown and went 49 yards. BB had 1 reception for 61 yards, and Thielen had 5 receptions for 75 yards. Dalvin Cook had 20 runs for 154 yards and a touchdown. You can clearly tell they don't want Kirk Cousins. They're like, okay, let's just have Dalvin Cook do it. Oh shit, we have to have him throw. God damn it, there goes the game. Speaking of quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers went 22 of 34, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's standard Aaron Rodgers at this point. Aaron Jones, the other Aaron. Not Rodgers, Jones. Aaron Jones had 23 carries for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. Best running back best running back Green Bay's had in a while. Adam Thielen had 7, or not Adam Thielen. Devontae Adams had too many Adams, too many Aarons, too many Joneses. Devontae Adams had 7 receptions for 106 yards. Also, Blake Martinez mustered up 10 tackles in the win for the Pack. All right. Another divisional game. Might as well stay on it because they're fun. Cowboys. The Cowboys do the cowboy thing, and Cowboys do what they did to the Indians 200 years ago and beat the Redskins 31-21. Dak was 26 of 30, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he had 5 carries for 69 yards. If Dak plays like this all year, holy shit, NFL, look out. Dak could be good. And then Zeke also had 23 carries for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. Zeke did Zeke things. Smith, of all receivers, had 3 receptions for 74 yards and a touchdown. Mike Gallup had 6 receptions for 68 yards, and Amari Cooper had 4 receptions for, I think, 48? Don't remember that one off the top of my head. Anyway, Cowboys defense musters 1 sack, no picks. Case Keenum went 26 of 37 for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. They did enough for, if their defense was better, they could have won the game. Adrian Peterson scored a touchdown, and for the second week in a row, McLaurin was the lead receiver for the Redskins, going for 5 receptions, 62 yards, and 1 touchdown. Defense I just ridiculed did have 1 sack and 1 pick. Overall, I think McLaurin, I think he's going to stay good as long as Keenum's starting, because I think him and Keenum have some sort of chemistry. All right, moving into a non-divisional game. We must mourn the loss of big Captain Ben Roethlisberger as he loses to the Seahawks in the season 28-26. Big Ben, before his injury, went 8 of 15 for 75 yards, then got injured. Then enters Mason Rudolph, who goes 12 of 19, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 picks. Juju Smith-Schuster had 5 receptions for 84 yards. There was no run game to speak of. McDonald had 7 receptions for 38 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Dante Moncrief needs to be cut. He can't catch the ball. We've seen this now. He needs to get the hell out of the league. Join the CFL, god dang it. He's terrible. Tuitt accounted for 2.5 of the Steelers' 4 sacks in the game. As for the victors, the Seahawks, Wilson went 29 of 35, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's what you expect a future Hall of Famer. First round pick from last year, Rashawn Penny had 10 He had 10 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. He needs to keep this up because I was not impressed with him his rookie year. But hey, if he keeps this up, he can make me eat my words. The receiving core, Tyler Lockett went for 10 receptions, 79 yards. The God himself, DK Metcalf, had 3 receptions for 61 yards and a touchdown. And Disley, love that name. Disley had 5 receptions for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. Seahawks defense managed 1 sack, 1 pick, which was good enough to win the game. Good for them. The Bills at the Giants. The Bills beat the Giants 20-14. Josh Allen went 19 of 30, 253 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, and he went on the ground 7 times for 20 yards and 1 touchdown. Sorry about the hiccups and crap. I'm just not doing great. Good job, Allen. He didn't throw any picks, which is kind of a big deal for him because that's kind of his MO is throwing picks. Frank Gore had 19 receptions for 19 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown, and Singletary had 6 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. The Patriots beat the Dolphins 43-0. Tom Brady went 20 of 28, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Sony Michel, 21 carries for 85 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Brown had 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown, while Julian Edelman had 4 catches for 51 yards. Overall, this defense was scary as fuck, as Jamie Collins got 2 picks, Butler got 2 sacks, and the D overall had 7 sacks and 4 picks, which was freaking scary. They were also playing the Dolphins, so it's like a CFL team. Fitzception went 11 of 21, 89 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. Rosen went 7 of 18, 97 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 pick. I think Rosen should start because Fitzception ain't gonna do it. He can't carry this bad of a team. Williams had 4 catches for 63 yards, and the Dolphins defense, which was so good defending, managed 2 sacks despite the fact that they sucked ass the whole game. Next to the greatest divisional matchup of the week, the Chiefs beat the Raiders 28-10. Mahomes dog went 30 of 44 for 443 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. What's this about regression? I don't know what the hell it is. There's no run game in Kansas City, but Robinson got 6 receptions for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, Kelsey got 7 receptions for 107 yards and 1 touchdown. The Chiefs' defense has 3 sacks and 2 picks, but they were playing Derek Carr, so that doesn't count. Carr went 23-38, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. What the fuck happened to week 1, Derek Carr? Broncos, your defense should be concerning. Josh Jacobs went 12 carries for 99 yards. So damn close to 100. But in the Raiders' defense, their defense somehow managed 2 sacks despite being the worst defense ever. Okay, now we get to the Saints-Rams game. There was a blown call, but the Saints still would have gotten their asses whooped as they lose 9-27. Breeze got injured after going 3 for 5, no touchdown, 1 pick. He's starting to show his age pretty hard, but now he's injured, so now it's Bridgewater time. Bridgewater went 17 of 30, no touchdowns, no picks. Michael Thomas did catch 10 of the balls for 89 yards. And the Saints defense managed 3 sacks on Jared Goff. Their kicker did go 3 for 3, accounting for all their points. Will Lutz, good job. Jared Goff, also known as Whackin' Goff, also known as Jared Goffel, also known as who? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, he went 19 of 28 for 283 yards, 1 touchdown, no pick. Todd Gurley on the snap count had 16 carries for 63 yards and 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp caught 5 of the golf balls for 120 yards. And Cooks caught 3 of them for 74 yards, and he got a touchdown. The Rams defense got 2 sacks and 1 pick. Overall, yeah, Saints, you're fucked. Rams, you're not out of the woods yet. Last game of Sunday before we get to Sunday night and Monday Night Football. The Bears win a heartbreaker against the Broncos 16-14. Bears both earned and didn't earn their win. I don't think they should have won, but at the same time they did win, and I can't really argue it. Trubisky went 16-27, 120 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He looked like dog shit against a defense that isn't meshing whatsoever right now. So it's like, you suck. Montgomery had 18 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. None of the receivers were good. The Bears defense got 2 sacks, 1 pick. Okay, that works. All right, now the Broncos. Okay. Well, go watch Brandon Perna on That's Good Sports. He has a way better analyzing of this game than I do, but I'll try doing him justice. Flackenhoff went 35 of 50, 290 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. My first question is, why the fuck do you have Flacco throwing the ball 50 times? My second question is, how did Flacco have that good of a completion percentage? And 3 is just a statement saying he didn't have that bad of a game, but he didn't have that good of a game. The only great recipient of that game is Emmanuel Sanders, who had 11 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. The run game looked kind of interesting as Royce Freeman kind of owned the day with 11 carries for 54 yards. And he also had 5 catches for 48, so he contributed more than Lindsey, which is really weird. And the Broncos defense has no sacks or picks still. Broncos, what the fuck? Get your shit together. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb start rushing passers. I want to see some heads off. I'm kidding, of course. I don't want to see heads off. I do want to see sacks, though. All right, and in the Battle of the Birds, the Eagles lost 20-24. Wentz looked spotty with 2 picks, and he looked like his ribs were hurting the whole game. Every wideout on earth got hurt. That was in an Eagles jersey. I guess Ertz and Aguilar had pretty good games. I think Aguilar had like 86 yards, and Ertz had a touchdown. Jones, Darby, and Gary all got picks on Matt Ryan, who threw 3 for 3. Speaking of Matt Ryan, he either threw a touchdown or interception. Both run games were shit. Julio and Ridley both had 100 yards, but Julio had 2 touchdowns. Ridley had 1, proving why he's better. Desmond Trufant, I still think Marcus Trufant whenever I see Trufant. He had 2 picks, and then the defense overall had 3 sacks. So overall, good job Falcons. You're starting to climb out of your choking ways. I say this now, they're gonna choke. They're gonna choke. Just watch. And Monday Night Football. This one was my favorite. The Browns beat the Jets 23-3. Baker looks sloppy as fuck. He needs to get his shit together, or we're gonna start losing games more than Hugh Jackson. Bradley Chubb. Or not Bradley Chubb. Nick Chubb, Odell Beckham, and Damian Ratley all looked pretty great. Damian Ratley is honestly a little underrated. My hair looks like it's a Ratley, but still. Denzel Ward did look a little inconsistent, which is concerning because he needs to be good. So then we can actually have a good corner, because I'm still not sure about Greedy Williams. Myles Garrett was a beast with 3 sacks. Before Morgan Burnett got injured, he also mustered a sack. And in a strange turn of events, Austin Seibert was 3 of 3 on field goals, which was interesting. All right, and Trevor Siemian died early in the game. My mullet brother, he's done for the year. Third string Luke Falk went 20 of 25 for 198 yards and nothing. He got obliterated back there. Luke Falk wasn't too bad. He had a good completion percentage. He just got no touchdowns, which is bad. Le'Veon Bell only had 63 yards on 23 carries, which is less than 3 yards a carry, and it makes Le'Veon look like a massive overpay. Overall, both offensive lines of both teams were shit. And Jets' pressure was good, but I don't know how much of that is the Jets' pressure and how much of that is the Browns having one of the worst O-lines I have seen in a while. But overall, I mean, Browns did win somehow. Probably because the Jets are bad. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this super duper long episode. I'm gonna have to split Monday and Sunday. That I might even split parts of Sunday at this point, because this was 30. This was 30 minutes. Me just going off about football. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a nice day. Like, comment, subscribe. Check the Twitter description below for seeing my reactions to stuff like Minkah Fitzpatrick. Have a nice day and goodbye.